Okay, swimming pool back again in my swimming pool. Sounds a bit crazy, but yeah, here she is. All nice and sunny out there as well, which is good. I want to show you real quick. I've got a pair of booties on. It's good to have a pair of water shoes when you're swimming lakes and stuff for the first time. This is the water's really low in here. I'll show you in a bit on a few rocks you can see over there on the water level, on the rock lines. The water's down about 2 feet, so I was kicking rocks here the other day. So I thought I'd just put a pair of booties on, easy, stubbing my toes. I also come here as well to about that. Give me a minute. I was taking my hat off my skull cap. I like to get in and sometimes I use a hat, definitely in the winter time. But I like to fully submerge my head quite a bit and get the head wet. Yeah. So as you can see on the rocks there, the water level's low. Yeah, I was stubbing my toes out on a few rocks here, and I normally know where all the rocks are in here, this pool. I also come down here and test equipment. And I'm testing a pair of gloves right now that are kind of slide gloves underneath my neoprene gloves, and already can feel that they're a lot colder. So that's why I can kind of get back to the shore real easy and change if I need be, right? It's always good if you're a novice swimmer to open air water and lakes and stuff like that. If you swim the shoreline, maybe just get used to the temperature and stuff like that and see how you feel. But swim around the shore. It's a lot better. That way you can, if you want to get back, you need to get back, you're right there, right? Or on the side if there's an emergency. You're having a panic attack or something, you can get to a rock and stand up at least by the edge of the water, right? So I've got these neoprene gloves. Well, they're not, I don't even think they're neoprene. I've got ones that are for my feet that are slide socks, and they are warm, really. These are just like nylon. I don't know. I'm not rating these at all already. I should be keeping my hand an extra few degrees warmer. Don't want to take them off. Down over here, that's the exit from this pool that goes down a stream into another pool, which is pretty cool. I first started swimming there yonks ago, in the winter especially, because it was the only where, when the water's flowing from lake into a pool and out of a pool, it's moving water and it doesn't freeze as quick. So yeah, and I'll explain what I do in here. There's a few of my older vids where I'm in here, and this place is frozen, and I'm smashing it, and I'm actually moving. Let's go down there now, actually, while I'm getting warmed up. So this pool comes down into this little small channel here. So that makes it even more faster flowing over the edge there. So what I do is when I'm moving ice to clear the pool here, is I'm actually moving really big slabs of ice. And, you know, sometimes 30 by 30 foot. Sometimes I get stuck in the channel here and I just kind of smash them at the side, and it will just, in the current, it will keep flowing down the little waterfall there, and it will take itself out and smash down in that lower next pool, and it goes all the way around, winds around down here. It's only about 100 yards, 150 yards down to the lower pool, and that's even faster. So when this lake is actually frozen really thick, I've left it a few days, and it gets thick, real thick. There's a few workouts I can do with getting rid of the thick ice, but it's a big task. So I swim here all the time, keeping it open most of the time. And yeah, and normally the thick ice starts forming from the edges out. With shallow water at the edges, that's going to get a lot thicker. So I tend to kind of, it's a workout in itself. I end up not really swimming, but if you go look at my earlier vids of ice swimming, ice smashing, ice clawing, I'm actually spending more time breaking ice, but it's such a good workout. And you're in the water, and you know, it's better for your joints. Water workouts. The real big rock here. See if we can go underneath and have a look. I normally know where they are. I know what that one's there. If you haven't swum the same place for a while, I've just came here quite recently. It's been coolie winds, and I thought, come in here when it's shallow, have a look around. I like to keep this pool clear. The debris. There's quite a few big logs over there, big branches and stuff I've cleared out the way. And I normally swim. Say if this is a kind of roundish pool, I normally swim squares. Sounds pretty crazy. Swim squares in a round pool when I normally go from corner to corner in somewhat of a square. This is where the other day I was just swimming around. I've gone around a few times, and I'm just kind of swimming over, looking in the woods and stuff, relaxing. And I'm gonna have to get up pretty close with my action cam here, but if you can see, right through the woods there, it looked like a man. Then I was like, no, that's too big for a man. And then first thing came into my mind was, I don't know, looked like a man with a big walking stick. And I had a look and I was like, man, that looks like it could be a Sasquatch. Yeah, right, crazy. But let's see if I can get a better view. Like I was saying in my short video, the more I looked, the more I thought, well, it could be a Sasquatch. No, I know it's not, but the more I thought it was a Sasquatch, the more I looked. Yeah, I come up to the sides here all the time and move out all the foam and the ice and that, get a good workout in here. My little training pool. And now, yeah, see if we can get up here. Right there. Just a man in the tree. Yeah, it's just a deformed tree, or it might be actually a tree that's uprooted. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it just looked like someone staring at me at first, a man in the woods, and there's a trail back behind there that goes to a few cabins, so that went through my mind as well. But also there was a beaver in here. You can tell by the gnawing of the angle of this piece of branch, and it's stripped off all the branch, and it used to be up here, but this has got a lot lower, so it's probably moved out somewhere a bit deeper. I don't know. Yeah, this is normally gushing. We've had a drought this summer, so the water levels are low. But normally, after a rainfall and in the winter time, this is gushing really hard because it snows, forms ice up the big lake up there, and then when it melts, because it goes high. Nova Scotia is normally low highs all the time in the winter. And then it melts and all the runoff comes in here and forms this pool. And then made me a swimming hole. Thank you very much. Like I said, the one good thing about it is it's because the water from the main lake up there is flowing over and it's coming down this stream here, and especially there's one here that's not really running right now, and there's this big one here, and there's a current in here. So it pushes the water and flows out that channel I just mentioned before. And there's like it doesn't freeze as quick, is the point. So yeah, that's how I kind of like got stumbling around and trying to find places to swim. And then also a few of my other earlier vids, I started making smashing ice in on the canal and rivers and stuff, and making my own 25-meter length little channel in the ice, and just started swimming backwards and forwards to clear it out. Once you've got through the big thick ice, then it will freeze overnight and there'll be a thin layer, and you can get rid of that pretty easy. In the springtime, I remember there's some big ice, I call them ice chunks on that main lake, and I've actually pushed them for nearly a kilometer, just pushing like 30 by 40 surface ice around the lake, giving my legs a good kick and give myself a good workout, pushing it with one hand and then using my other to paddle, to swim. Yeah, again, a really good workout doing that. And also I tried ice surfing in here on a big piece of ice, because there was a current in here and it moves the ice and flows out that channel like mentioned. So I tried to get up, and I actually got up, and just for a few seconds on a big piece of ice. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's kind of training lake, testing gear. Like already my hands are warmer. Yeah, I'm not really rating them gloves. The socks are really good. If you get the socks, they're called Therms wet socks. And I actually like a different technique of stitching, of making neoprene. And they're slidey to get your suit on and off real quick. I just bought the pair of gloves and they didn't have Therms written on the side. So I tried them out, and they're with a thinner pair of gloves, and they were cold. No good. Yeah. Therms wet socks, thumbs up. Therms wet gloves, although they're called just wet gloves. And wet socks, wet gloves, no good. No, they're just nylon. They're no neoprene. As I was saying to you before, you're a novice, beginner, or intermediate swimmer, or even, you know, an advanced swimmer. Sharing and caring and sharing ideas is always good. But I know this lake as well, pool, I call it pool. I got a swimming training lake. Call it my training lake. That's up in the mountains. And this is out in the wilderness, my training pool. Yeah, this is shallower on this side. There's a couple of big logs over here. I'll see if I can show you one. Pretty crazy. But yeah, they're heavy. They're so waterlogged, they've sunk, and I've bumped into them and thought, what the hell is that? Next thing I know, I'm kind of lifting up part of a big branch, or even it's part of a tree, like a broken tree in a windstorm. There's one here and there's one over there. I'll just show you how big this thing is. Yeah, and I moved it actually from out over there. I moved it over to this side of the lake where it's a lot less. I don't swim over here as much as it's too shallow. Normally the water's up a lot higher, but there's one point that sticks out, and this is a really big, heavy. Look at the size of this thing, man! Holy shit! Let's have a look to see if we can get a little. Yeah, that's water logs. It's probably still moving again. I can keep moving it over to the edge. A few more rocks over this side, so I tend to swim that square I mentioned. Yeah, it's even thicker here. That's a real thick tree that's come down. See if we can find the end. Oh. Yeah. Holy crap, that's a heavy duty tree. And I moved it all the way from that big rock over there in the middle there. I'm still, that's at least 30 feet. I'm still going. Wow. Too heavy. Gives you a bit of a workout. Look at the size of that thing. Yeah, like a proper. Beast of a tree. Yeah, I'll move that. Like, why not? This one here is a lot shorter, I know that. And just actually put that over more towards the other side. Yeah, there's a few more rocks over this way, so I don't really come over here. So I just wanted to move my particular swim spot. Here we go. Get on the way out there. Yeah, good thing if you're a beginner, intermediate swimmer, and you're new to the outdoors and, well, not the outdoors, but open water swimming in lakes. You stick to the side. It's happened before. I've had to get out and actually traipse through the woods on a canoe capsize in the mountains with my girlfriend. I've had to rescue her in a really high wind situation as well. I borrowed the canoe, it was left up there, and I won't tell you exactly all what happened, but yeah, we capsized in a just thawed spring lake, which was really cold, fishing, and I've had to rescue my girlfriend first, primarily first ever, and trying to save the canoe, but the canoe, when the wind started drifting away, and we've had to kind of leave the canoe, lost all my fishing gear, and yeah, head for the car down the mountain. Get warm, get out the water straight away. Water, believe it or not, is a lot colder than the same temperature in air. The 10-degree water compared to 10-degree air is a lot colder. Also, here's another good thing to keep in mind. Where you see lily pads, you know it's shallow. Lily pad here, right? If you see a little patch of lily pads, you know it's shallow water. You can always move over to where you see lilies, and here I'm standing upright because lily pads won't grow more than 10 feet. But swimming around the edges as a beginner, you need to take a breath, a breather. You might have a panic situation, and you're right there. Yeah, you can get out. And if worse come worse be, is get out, get in the air. You'll get warm up really quickly, even if it's really cold. The air is warmer than the water at the same temperature. Different molecule. Or you can grab to a rock and stand up pretty well and get your breath back, and then get back to your exit, your starting point, right? For beginners, just swim around the sides. It's always fun. Keep in mind to have the right gear on, like a pair of water shoes, in case you start kicking rocks. But there's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a lot shallower at the edges where the rocks are. I'm standing on a rock right here. Actually, tree, branch. But it's going to be shallower around the edges, yeah? So, survival mode, you're at the edge. And you can go as far as you want. And come back the same way. Or if you've got a trail, pair of water shoes, walk through the trail and swim back to your vehicle. Don't go too far from your vehicle either, because if it's really cold, I'm talking real, you know, hypothermia situation, you're near your vehicle, you can get in that vehicle. Quick, turn it on, get the heat on. Get yourself a waterproof seat mat, what I use, or a seat cushion, waterproof seat cushion. So you can get in, warm up, and take your suit off. It's a lot harder, but in your car. Hey, well, hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to cut it short here real quick. I'm going to keep going on and get more of a swim in here as well. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks to all the people that have. And all the people that are following my little swim journeys and stuff. I appreciate it. Give us a like and a share. Yeah, keep on swimming on. If you've got any questions, don't feel free to ask. I'll get back to you as best I can. Yeah, keep the faith. There we go. Swimming pool, then swimming pool. Swim in pool. That is. Swimming in through life.